Hi, my name is Lara Kudaisi. I help people heal from emotional pain, trauma, childhood dysfunctions for a happily ever after. My story in a nutshell is that I healed from having a child at 19, 14 heartbreaks, 15 abortions, and a divorce. I have created a program titled How They Heal.
Banke Shotomi is a life coach popularly known as the Unstuck Coach. She helps women get back on their feet and live the best fulfilled life ever. She's a single mom to 2 boys, and she met the love of her life some time ago. Let's hear her full story.
And in that very year where I had made that decision within my spirit, the most handsome man, the most deliciously generous, kind-hearted man just appeared in my life. Very unexpected. In fact, I was in Dubai at the time, and a mutual friend had called up me to say, "Oh, there's some guy that's interested in you." I was like, "I beg, I don't want no guy to come and scatter what I have finally found as my inner peace." And so that's how the love story really began. We met up, we realized we actually knew quite a lot of our mutual friends, and it was very easy. It was that was where you go to church and you say, "God has done it for me," type of testimony,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And as a matter of fact, I gave my testimony in church. I gave my testimony to my followers. I said, if God can do this, if God can bring me out of years and years of singleness, even with 2 children on top, and he's able to take care of my fees, my children's school fees, my house, he just took care of me, then we serve a good God. And so we had our wedding day, which was everything I had ever dreamed. It was perfect. It was everything that I had imagined, down to my ring, my dress, my shoes, my hairstyle, my flowers, even the salad that we were going to eat. I had dreamt it all in my mind, and it became my reality. And at the time when I did get married, I got married on my father's birthday, which was an extra special day because my dad was 85 and I was the only person left in my family that was to get married. So it was a big deal. This was like, thank God, oh, God has really straightened this girl's path. And so it was a marvelous day. It wasn't an overlandish day. It wasn't an over-the-top day, but it was classy. It was perfect. It was beautiful. And so at this time, you're thinking, why are you here? What's your story?
Yeah.
Right? And so we enjoy a relationship, a marriage builds. We had issues. And this is where I would say and interject that marriage is more than the hair, the wedding dress, the ring, oh my God, he proposed to me. When you get married, it's a different ball game. When you get married, it's a clash of personalities, backgrounds, experiences, trauma. As Lara has said, half of us are living traumatically. Half of us are dealing with unhealed issues, and it spills on into our relationships. So anyway, a few weeks down the line, I realized that, okay, we have some serious complications here. Life is not as easy as I thought it was going to be. And we have many struggles, many issues, many issues. The kind where I thought, God, how did I get myself here? How did this happen? And so 8 months down the line, I'm on a bus on my way back to Lagos. I flew out for a week to go to London to sort out some things. And I will never forget that particular trip. I travel a lot to London because I have my family and my house and everything is based there. But on this particular trip, I did not want to go. I didn't want to go. I really didn't want to go. I had to sort something out very urgently with my housing situation in the UK, so I had no choice. And so I'm sitting on the bus, finally going home, getting ready to get my suitcase, and on my way to the airport. And I get a phone call from Biggie. Now, it's very unusual for me to get a phone call from Biggie. Biggie is not my staff. He's not part of my entourage. So I never really have interactions with him. And so a FaceTime, a video call comes through, but unfortunately the static, the network, everything is, so his messaging is broken up. And he does this 3 times. And in my mind, I'm like, why is Biggie calling me so frequently? Like, what do me and him have?
Who is Biggie? If I want to interject.
Don't worry.
Okay.
And so eventually I managed to get through to Biggie, and Biggie says to me, oh, Ma, we just want you to know that something has happened to Oga. He's in the hospital, but everything is okay. We just want to let you know in case you're trying to call him. And I said, okay, no problem. Where is he in the hospital? Give me the phone. Give the phone to him. Let me speak to him. Okay, ma, no problem. I'm coming, ma. He drops the phone, calls back again. So by now you figured out that Biggie is my husband's PA.
Yes.
So no more phone calls. I call back and there's this hesitancy. Everyone is kind of confused. Everyone is like, And so this time I call Mr. Akin. Mr. Akin is the driver. And I say, Mr. Akin, what's going on? Let me speak to Oga. Where's Captain? And so they say, okay, ma, we're coming. We're coming, ma, we're coming. Again, we're coming, ma, we're coming, ma, we're coming. Oh yeah, calm now. Let me speak to Captain. And so it was on my final call to Mr. Akin that I on the phone with him, and unfortunately for the whole situation, as he's on his way to give the phone to the doctor, I hear in the background, what do you want us to tell her? He has gone, he has gone. What do you want us to say? That was how I got to find out that my husband had passed away. On my way going to London, on my way going back home to Lagos, I heard in the background a very irritated, frustrated, probably underpaid, exhausted doctor saying that there's nothing that they can say to me because my husband had passed away. But even at this point in time, I was still like, what do they know, Joe? Let me call my mom. My mom is like a superhero to me. I don't know if we have moms like this. But my mom can make any situation, think of it, any situation, she can turn it around. And so I give my mom a call that, Mom, I don't understand what's going on. They said Captain's in the hospital. Can you just go and check and make sure everything's okay? And at this point, I kid you not, I am 100% convinced that my mom is going to call me back and say, don't mind them. I want idiots. They don't know what they're saying. Everyone is fine. He's just not feeling well. And so I wait for the call. I wait and I wait and I wait. And by this time, I'm about 4 stops away to my house. And finally, the phone call comes. And my mom is like, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Banke, he's gone. He's gone. And it's only at that point, because my superhero couldn't rescue me from what I was afraid to really embrace. It was only at that point that the reality sunk in that actually I had lost my husband. My husband had passed away. And so between what happens when I'm on the bus to how I get myself to Lagos, I really couldn't tell you, because I think I was in a space where I could not really process everything. But the one thing that I remember thinking to myself is, God, how could you do this? How could you set me up only for me to fall? And my journey towards healing, overcoming grief, is a long journey. It's a process. But in the one thing that I made a decision when I said, okay, this is what my life has become, is I'm either going to stay really pissed off with God, or I'm going to recognize that I cannot get through this without God. And so I had to make a choice. I had to forgive God. Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The God that forgives us, we are now doing shakara. Okay, I
Yeah.
forgive you.
Yeah.
But I had to forgive God. I felt I had to say, you know what, God?
I let you go.
It's sad. I know that all things are working together for my good. I know that your ways are not my ways. And so even though I cannot understand why you would do such a thing or why such a thing will happen, I'm going to trust that there is a purpose behind this pain that you have inflicted. And it was an infliction of pain. It was something that I didn't expect. It's almost as if you're walking and someone just drags the carpet off under your feet and you fall. And so that's really my journey. My journey to healing is one of accepting that this is what has happened.
Yeah.
The biggest source of misery in our human existence is our refusal to accept what is. When we continue to hold on to things and life is pulling us in the direction that we may be scared to go into, like Lara said, it's just 1 week of her hell that she had to go through. But when she went through that hell of 1 week with her backlash and all of that, life continued, life moved on. And so for me, my journey, my story is, it really doesn't matter what situation you find yourself in. It really doesn't matter what level of pain you encounter. You have a choice to overcome. You have a choice to heal. And that choice really begins when you decide to let it go. It's in the process of letting go that you receive the grace that you need to move forward and to overcome. So that's really
Wow.
my
Wow.
story.
Wow, 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 wow. Banke, thank you. Thank you, because all of this, that's a submission. You don't want to know the processes, you don't want to know how many days, you don't want to know how many years, you don't want to know. But I have 1 zillion questions for you.
Go ahead.
You understand?
Super humbled and honored to be here. It's beautiful, right?
Yes.
But it's crazy. What's more beautiful is that you're here, you survived, and you're sharing, you're healing, and it's amazing. So where do I begin? My name is Chinonso Arubai. Where do I start?
Yes, the journey where it started from, how you met, how did you guys meet?
Okay, so yeah, the journey.
Yes.
It's still hard for me to be here.
Yes.
I run away from this. So just manage.
Yes.
So we met 6 years ago, right? And it was in February, the month of February. I had just finished doing a friend's photo shoot, and I was assisting her because I'm into the whole media creative industry. So we had finished a photo shoot, and she had a mutual friend who was trying to date her at the time. But she's like, oh, he's short, I'm short, what will happen to our children? So, they were just friends. And this was the first time he was meeting me. So on our way home, he said he wanted to pick up something from my husband's house. I still call him my husband.
Yeah.
So no offense. And we went to the house in the living room. So I met him in his house. So when I tell people this story, they're like, you went to his house, like you just packaged yourself and just entered the house like one time. But it was God. God made our paths cross that day. And it was a beautiful meeting because I feel like, I know 4 months before then, I was just dealing with a heartbreak, and so I was out of it. But my friend knew about that experience, so she didn't really want me to go into any of all that craziness. And she just felt, fine boy, someone from the entertainment industry because he used to be on West African Idols. I'm not really understanding what is going on here. So we went out for barbecue. We had like 3 cars, and he's like, oh, let me go in your car, and I'm like, okay, no problem. I was still a learner. I still had my L on my small jalopy car, and then when he goes in and he sees the L, he's like, please, can I drive? And I'm like, sure. I really don't even like driving. So that's how he drove, and we went to the party. And he started telling my friend that I really like your friend. And she now puts him on the bench, asks him all the questions, and he's like, I'm a worry guy. We fight for free. And, I just laughed. And I don't know, there was something.
Yeah.
Where do I begin? Let me just take you back a bit. I'm this child who didn't grow up with her mom and her dad, so to speak.
Okay.
I grew up with my auntie, who I grew up calling my mom. And, for me, it was very important that I did marriage right. So it was almost like, this is the one thing that I want to get right. This is the one thing that I want to have, like my own family, not having my children deal with a broken home or live with a single mom or any of that. So I was, that child that, even though I was very chilled and cool and vibey, I loved God and I held on to him tight because I'm like, God, oh, you have to bless me with my own home. I remember then in university, I joined the sanctuary keeper, so I'm like, fine girl, why are you sleeping church? I'm like, just wait too, as I'm sweeping this house, God is taking care of my house, is sweeping my future house, all this type of thing. So yes, I was coming from a very faith-based background, trusting and believing God for my bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh and all of that. And so it just felt right because this was someone who not only looked amazing, but was beautiful in his heart. Like, have you seen my husband?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was a catch, and then he loved God, and we understood ourselves, like our faith. We understood, like there was just that peace. And so we dated for 5 months. So we met in February, got engaged July on his birthday, and by November we had our traditional wedding, and December 28th we were married. So do the maths, in like 11 months. That's the kind of prayer we pray for.
Yes, this is my
don't
year.
Waste your time.
Yeah.
When you enter January, you're like, God, this is the year, and now meet and
get married, have a baby going, if possible.
My goodness, wow! And it was beautiful. It was like a dream because we wanted to do it right, and so like we didn't want to start playing around and playing hanky-panky, if you know what I mean. So it was a pure relationship, and it was a relationship built and founded on God. In fact, even the wedding party, the bridal shower, and all those things, we had a worship night before the wedding.
Wow.
So before barbecue and having bachelor's eve and all the crazy things that, we like to do before our wedding, Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness and every other thing. So it was like, oh, finally, every other thing. Thank you, Jesus, I have it all. So it was a testimony. It was beautiful. It was awesome. He's a gospel minister. He sings in church, loves the Lord. What else? What else can a girl ask for, really? So I was happy. And I had a son, gave birth to Jaden. It was great. Marriage is not perfect.
Yeah.
We had our ups and downs, but, and that's why it hurt me, because it was almost like, the beginning time where you have some rough patch here and there. And then we had, in the 3rd year, we had come to a place where we were good. Like, there was, synergy. Like, he understood me. I could look at him and he would get me, and he would look at me and So we had gone through a lot at the time. And it was almost like finally things were looking up, even in his career, my career, and everything was beginning to make sense. And, The hardest part, I really don't know how to talk about this,
Just
but I would
take
try
your time
my
and
best.
use the words that come to you.
So yeah, okay. So in December, sometime in December,
Okay.
he, okay. So sometime in December, he was so he would feel sometimes in December. Ah, God, I don't even know how to put it.
It's okay.
I don't know how to talk about this. He
Take
was
your
ill.
time. Yeah.
But it wasn't like, it was just one of those things we thought we would get through. It wasn't serious. It wasn't life threatening. It didn't seem life threatening. I mean, we've gone through a lot. He's had to go to the hospital at different points in time. You know, it wouldn't be the first time he'll say, "Oh, I am having a headache," and pop in some drugs or aspirin or what have you. So, but this time it was different because it was expired drugs and it affected his liver. And at the time, I was away in December. I had traveled, and on my son's birthday, he came. He came in and wanted to surprise us. So he had shades on, he had glasses on, and it seemed like he was trying to hide it. But when I went to offer him something to eat, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And I saw the color of his eyes was yellow. I'm like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Oh, you know." So you caught me now. What are you feeling like? Just laughing because he didn't want me to panic. That he used to say I'm an alarmist. He used to say I'm
Okay.
alarmist. Yeah, it was like a joke. It was like a joke, but it'd be like, I don't want her to panic every time. She'll just panic. What's going on? So I was like, but this is not fair. You should have, told me and everything. I was like, oh, he's fine, he's good. He's already taking treatments because he was away in Delta State. So he was already taking treatment. He was doing some work there. So he literally just came in for Jaden's birthday and
Okay.
was going to go back and continue his medication because he was already taking treatments. And next thing I know, he goes back to Delta and a lot happened in between, but let me just say he didn't come back. At some point, he said he had to turn off his phone, so he'll be out of reach. I would try to call. It was just a lot of drama, a lot of craziness, all kinds of things that I can't even share.
Yeah.
But eventually, I went to the hospital, and that was a Friday. I went to the hospital on Friday, and on Saturday, he was. On Saturday, he was. I don't know what happened. I just know that I was asked to, go home, leave the hospital, because I wasn't really getting what was going on everywhere. Everybody just, I don't know, it was crazy. So I decided to go home, and my mom is in Delta State. Just go home and speak to her, and maybe she could help me understand or make sense of what was going on. So on my way to meet with my mom, my phone died, and when I got to her place, she received a call, but she just acted normal. So I was just, still like, God has to heal my husband, God has to heal my. I was still praying. I was still, okay, hold my hand, mommy, hold my hand, let's pray. I don't feel fine, mommy, hold my hand, let's pray. I'll just keep, pacing, and I couldn't really understand what was going on. And she's like, it's fine. Okay, let me put water for you to bath. I'm like, mommy, I didn't come for holiday. Like, let's do something. She's like, have you eaten? Don't. So in church we fast we have the two women's fast in January. So I was already fasting from January. Then I entered, my husband is not feeling well. I need to fast for him to get out of the hospital. So I've been fasting since January to February. And she was telling me about food. I'm like, that is not what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to pray. And she was just like, calm down, petting me. My phone was charging. I said, let me go and get my phone and, see if I can call. She said, leave your phone, just rest. 11 p.m., it's like, I need to get my phone. So I turned on my phone, and as soon as I turned it on, oh, where are you? You and Jaden can come and stay in our house. That was a friend. And I was like, why is someone inviting me to stay in a house with my son? And then I saw crying smileys just come into my phone, and then I'm like, what's going on? And then there was a prayer group chat that we had opened, and some people just left the group. Some people just said, Eric, no, why? I was like, what does this mean? And I called a few people. I'm like, what's going on? And nobody still wanted to tell me anything. And then I went on Instagram and I just.
Do you like a tissue?
Saw it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't know what.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Remember I said it earlier today before they all came, that crying is a natural, is a reaction to an unpleasant event. Do you understand? So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.